At any rate, Captain Chuck Nash is with us, one of the people who has landed on runways shorter than LaGuardia because he used to land Navy jets on an aircraft carrier. But Chuck, when you look at the pictures, I hope you're able to see them. Not all of our guests have been able to, but when you look at the pictures, what's your assessment?
Obviously, as strange as this sounds, it appears they were very lucky. Because if they continued past that berm with the two shots you have there, it appears that there's water at the other end of it. And in looking at the Google Earth view of LaGuardia, it appears to me that it's the overrun, just past the overrun and into the berm of runway 13, which, if true, and the wind report that you just gave, it could have been a downwind landing. So a downwind landing. The other thing is that commercial airliners don't use angle of attack. They use a computed airspeed. And there's a big difference there. When you referenced my carrier landings, those were all done at angle of attack because the angle of attack is an extremely accurate measurement of the optimum airspeed, as opposed to a rough calculation based on so many passengers with an assumed weight of 180 pounds or whatever the metric is that they use. That's measure it with a micrometer, mark it with chalk, and cut it with an axe. So you start coming down possibly an icy, snow-covered runway, maybe a little bit of tailwind instead of headwind. You touch down, you've computed it maybe wrong because you're a little fast. So now you're fast. In all those circumstances that I described, you do everything you can. You got the anti-skid brakes on max. You're in full thrust reverse. You're slowing. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? Uh-oh. And then, bam, you're up on the berm, and that's it. We've seen the same thing out at Midway Airport, where aircraft have slid off the end of that runway, through the fence, and out onto a street into a gas station. So these are short runways. You have to be right on, and you can't be fast, especially on a day like this.
And you can't be high as well. You want to bring that aircraft in right on the glide slope.
Well, and, with Navy landings, they're the old saying, John, you're a pilot too, things that can't help you is runway behind you and gas you left in the pump. So depending on where they touch down on the runway, if they were high and they touched down long, you may have started with an 8,000-foot runway, but if you land 2,000 feet down it, you got 6,000 feet in front of you, and that's all that matters.
Obviously, all of this will be left up to the National Transportation Safety Board. They probably have a team already on the way to LaGuardia Airport. And just so our viewers know, no fatalities. Everybody, we understand, got off the plane okay. It appears to me that the right wingtip has broken off of this Delta MD-80, a Delta flight from Atlanta that came in this morning in very bad weather. Tried to make a landing at LaGuardia Airport, which I mentioned before has the second shortest runways in commercial aviation in this country, and ended up where it is with the nose of the plane up on a berm, perhaps dangling out over the waters of Flushing Bay.
And apparently